Good afternoon, boys and girls. Just as I suspected, we have to do a little bit more work on the Pythagorean theorem. Hopefully, after watching the last video, you entered this important formula on your formula card. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. And maybe you even drew a little picture of a right triangle. Notice it's a right triangle because of the 90-degree angle in the corner. Okay, one leg is called A, the other leg is called B. Those are the two rays that come off of the right triangle base here. And the line across from the 90-degree angle is called the hypotenuse, okay? That's where we left off last time. Okay, I want to show you something that I made for you. Okay, Pythagoras invented this, actually discovered this almost 2,000 years ago, that there was a relationship between the three sides of a right triangle. Now, this only works for right triangles, okay? He said that the sum of the hypotenuse, or the square of the hypotenuse in this particular one is 5. So 5 squared is 25. The sum of the square of the hypotenuse is equal to the sums of the squares of the other two sides. Let's prove that to you. This side we'll call side A. 3 squared is 9. This side we'll call side B, or 4. 4 squared is 16. And 9 plus 16 is 25. And the hypotenuse is 5. 5 times 5 is 25. So Pythagoras was right. He was a great thinker. Philosophers like to think and argue. They make good lawyers. So if you're ever interested in becoming a lawyer, you'd want to be a philosopher as well. Okay? Now, let's take this down for a minute and show you something else. Okay? Not all triangles have to have equal sides to them. In this particular triangle, A is 6 inches, B, leg B is 3 inches, and we want to find C. So we write the formula first, as we always do. That's our recipe. 6 squared plus 3 squared equals C squared, which will be our hypotenuse. 6 squared is 36 plus 3 squared, which is 9, gives us C squared. 36 plus 9 is 45. Equals C squared. Now you take the square root, you can use your square root key on your calculator, and you'd say C, or the length of the hypotenuse, is 6.70. Cool, huh? Now let's do another one together. I hope you'll be able to see this. Okay? Notice this right triangle here. Whoops, I should put a little square there to just make sure you know that's a right triangle. Now let's take A. Maybe we'll make A be 5, and 5 times 5 is 25, plus B, which would be 6. 6 times 6 is 36. That will give us C squared. Okay, 25 and 36, you can use your calculator if you can't do it in your head, it's 61, and that would be C squared. But we want only C, so we take the square root of 61, square root of C squared, and we get 7.81 equaling C. That's as simple as it is. This side is 7.81. Now let me give you another example. Fun, huh? Okay. Sometimes you can find a missing leg if you know the hypotenuse. Hypotenuse up here is 12. A, the leg, is 10, and we're looking for B this time, okay? So A squared, which is 10, plus B squared, which we're looking for, equals C squared. Remember, I always start with the formula. Well, I know 10 times 10 is 100, okay? Plus B squared is what we're looking for, equals 12 squared, which we know is 144. Now, remember from algebra, how do we get B squared by ourselves? Well, we subtract the 100 from both sides. So if we subtract 100 there, it's gone. We subtract 100 here, put my equal sign back, put my B squared back, because that's what I'm looking for, and I have B squared equals 44. Now I want to know what B is by itself, so I take the square root of both of those. I have B equaling 6.63, and you can find that out using your square root key on your calculator. Now let me prove to you that that worked. Okay, starting with the formula again. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. I'm going to plug in what I know and prove to you that this works. We said that a squared was 10 squared, plus now we're going to plug this in. 6.63 squared we found out was b, so we're going to square that, equals c squared, which is 12 squared. 10 squared is 100, plus, and I did this ahead of time on my calculator, 6.63 squared is just 6.63 times 6.63, and it came out to be 43.95. You can check that out if you don't believe me, okay? Equals 12 squared, which is 144, okay? Now, if you add 100 and then plus 43.95, you get 143.95. And that is pretty darn close to 144. In fact, if I were to round it to the nearest whole number, I would have 144 equaling 144. That just shows you that our calculation for B was correct, okay? Now, you'll have some of those on your test next week as well. So practice some of those from your book. They're kind of fun. Math is fun. It's not hard if you start with the formula first. So don't forget that, okay? See you soon. Hope you're enjoying your day.